Welcome. Let's talk about Social Security. You see those headlines, right? They can sound, well, pretty scary. But today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We'll break down what these projections really mean for you, and, most importantly, how you can build a financial plan that's flexible enough to handle, well, pretty much anything. So here it is, the billion-dollar question. Will Social Security actually be there for you when you need it? And look, it's a fair question. It's on the minds of millions of people, and honestly, it's a source of some major anxiety. And that feeling, it's being fueled by some pretty official and, yeah, pretty concerning projections about where the system is headed. Okay, so you see this date, 2033. What is that? Well, according to the Social Security Board of Trustees, that's the year the main trust fund, the one that pays out retiree benefits, is projected to hit a shortfall. Now, seeing a hard date like that can be pretty jarring, I get it. But it is so important that we understand what shortfall actually means and what it doesn't mean. All right, let's get into what this shortfall is all about. Because, and this is the key thing, a shortfall does not mean the system just runs out of cash. The headlines can really get this wrong. So let's look at what the numbers actually tell us is going to happen after that so-called deadline. So here's the most important takeaway, right here. Benefits are not projected to go to zero, not even close. You see, the system is designed to constantly bring in new money from the payroll taxes we all pay. And that money, that ongoing revenue, is still going to be enough to pay for the majority of what's been promised to retirees. Take a look at this. Even if politicians do absolutely nothing, the projections show that ongoing taxes would cover around 77 cents on every dollar of promised benefits. Now, don't get me wrong. A 23% gap is a big deal. It's significant. And that is exactly why it's almost a sure thing that Congress is going to step in and fix it. I mean, they've done it before. So, what's the move here? Freaking out about that 23% gap? Trying to guess which political fix is going to happen? No way. Panic is not a plan. The smart move, the best response, is to focus on the things you can actually control. The goal is to build a financial plan for yourself that's so flexible, it can adapt to any of the possible outcomes. Okay, so if Congress is going to act, what are they likely to do? Well, there are a few options on the table to make sure the system stays solvent for the long haul. Most of the ideas really fall into three main buckets. And you know what? Each one would impact your retirement a little differently. So, here are the three big ones you'll hear about. First, some gradual tweaks to benefits. Second, raising the full retirement age. And third, something called means testing, or maybe expanding how benefits are taxed. Let's dive into each one. Okay, path number one, small, gradual benefit adjustments. Lawmakers are really hesitant to touch the benefits of people who are already retired, so this would be for future retirees. But check this out. Even a pretty modest 5 or 10% cut, phased in over time, for some folks, that could add up to over $100,000 less in benefits over their lifetime. That's not nothing. All right, another idea that gets a lot of talk is just pushing the full retirement age back a bit. Congress actually did this way back in 1983. So think about it like this. If the full retirement age, or FRA, moves from 67 to 69, and you still decide to claim at 67, well, now the system sees that as claiming early. And claiming early comes with a penalty. In this case, about a 13% reduction in your benefits. And the last big idea is means testing. Basically, this would connect your Social Security check to how much other income you have. We're talking pensions, investment income, big withdrawals from your 401k or IRA, that kind of stuff. If your income is over a certain level, your benefit could get smaller. This makes planning for taxes and retirement absolutely critical. Okay, so we've seen the possibilities. The big question is, how in the world do you prepare for all this? Well, the answer isn't about betting on which political party is going to win. The real answer is to build flexibility into your own plan, starting right now, so you can roll with the punches no matter what the final rules look like. So let's talk tools. The first one in your toolbox should be something called bridge income. What is that? It's just having enough money in savings or a regular brokerage account to cover your living expenses for a couple of years. Why is this so powerful? Because it gives you options. If they push the retirement age back, you don't have to panic. You can use your bridge fund and wait to claim your full benefit. All right, next up is a really powerful strategy, the Roth conversion. Now, this one's a bit of a chess move. You're basically taking money from a traditional tax-deferred account, like an IRA, and moving it into a Roth IRA. The catch? You have to pay the income taxes on that money now. But you do it because you get a huge, huge advantage later on. So you're probably asking, why on earth would I want to pay taxes sooner? Fair question. Well, here's why. You're creating a bucket of money that you can pull from in retirement 100% tax-free. That's a game changer. It means your official taxable income will be lower down the road. This can help you shrink those pesky required minimum distributions, the withdrawals the government makes you take, and it can also help you dodge those extra high Medicare premiums, called IRMAA surcharges, that get triggered by high income. It's all about taking control of your taxes before they control you. And at the end of the day, it really boils down to a few simple guardrails for success. Number 1, keep your fixed costs low. The less you have to spend, the more flexible you are. Number 2, don't put all your eggs in one tax basket. Have some money in taxable accounts, some in tax-deferred, and some in tax-free. That gives you options. And finally, number 3, play the what-if game. Sit down, maybe with an advisor, and model out different scenarios to make sure your plan is tough enough to handle them. Okay, this all sounds good in theory, right? But let's make it real. Let's look at a case study, a couple who is trying to figure all this out right now in the real world. So here's our couple. They're both 62 years old. They've got a good chunk of money saved, but most of it is in traditional IRAs. So what do? Instead of grabbing Social Security right away, they decide to delay until they're 70. And to make that happen, they use the money in their taxable account as that bridge income we talked about. And during those years from 62 to 70, they're also doing strategic Roth conversions. Smart. And just look at the results of this strategy. It's amazing. Whether Congress does nothing, or implements a 10% benefit cut, or even brings in means testing, their plan still works. Their lifetime benefits are solid no matter what. By building in this flexibility, they have literally created a plan that wins in every one of these scenarios. They basically future-proofed their retirement. So what's the bottom line here? It's this. The next few years are an incredible window of opportunity. This is your chance to reshape your retirement, to decide where your income is going to come from, and crucially, how it's going to be taxed. You can take steps right now, things like building that bridge income and looking at Roth conversions to take back control. Look, the goal isn't to make the uncertainty disappear. It's to build a plan that's so strong, so resilient, that the uncertainty just doesn't scare you anymore.